Hello? Hello, guys? Is this thing a little bit low? Happy Wednesday, my wonderful peoples. Thanks for being here today. And Mish, I am feeling better. Thank you. What? Starting the stream with a new follower too? Thank you very much. Tucson Tamale Company? We love tamales. I'm in. Guys, it's good to be back. Thank you very much, everyone. We're ready to roll today. This is so crazy still to me. Like, Wednesday afternoon, we're here together. Michael, thank you very much for the 16 months in a row. I remember when I was like, yo, it's 1 year, dude. Now you're like, what, 3/4 of the way or a quarter of the way through the next year? Okay, let's welcome everyone in. We got a fun and busy day today. We have some people coming over to check out the fiber situation that's going to get installed. We also had Kimmers coming in first thing. She didn't want to miss the stream, so she was in super early with a tier 2 resub for 50 months in a row. Kimmers, thank you very much for that. Always being typically first. I would say she's on like a 99% streak of being first of all these years. Samuel's here with us today. Mish, thanks for the feta complaint. That's fair. Yep, there's no feta on the menu, unfortunately. Hi, Eric. Hello, Film Nerder. We got Jelly with us. Are you related to heaven? Because all I see is kindness. You know, I've always joked that I'm an angel, but no one ever believes me. At least somebody sees it. Thanks. You feel like it's the weekend? Me too. Me too. It feels so weird because like the weekends are at work and then this is our weekend, but then everyone else is working, so it's a fun one. We're getting used to it. Life is good. It's been really busy, so thanks for just like being patient with us adjusting to everything. Yesterday was a day of like catching up on running errands, making sure we have enough groceries for the week, kind of cleaning up the house for all of the rest of the like next week, right? Because we knew we had people coming over today. But I feel like I got a lot of our like kind of just last little bits and bobs that were scattered around the house unfinished finished up now. Laundry's done. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling refreshed. Had a good sleep. We're here. We're gonna cook some yummy lunch and let you guys go for another week. Perfect spelling on Béarnaise. I really did try to do proper spelling on everything today. It's important, right? Yeah, Samo's lurking. We just have one of our bosses coming over soon with a utility company to see the situation for getting fiber installed. And then they'll make a plan and then see when we can get it installed. You gotta drive through Canada soon. Any tips? What part of Canada are you driving through? That's so fun. I think you'll have an amazing time. Veal schnitzel is delicious. Yeah, fiber is super fast. So I'm excited. I hope it gives us a just kind of breath of fresh air for stream, not having to worry about the internet cutting out randomly anymore. Beautiful. One of those last things. You've only been to Windsor. See, I've not been to Windsor. I think Sam has, though. That's a nice area. That's kind of around where Sam grew up, at least in the same province. Abadoos? Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Hello. Okay, guys. So we are making some German food today. We got a really yummy looking pork shoulder from the store on sale last week. Just popped it in the freezer because we knew that we were going to use it up quick. And yeah, one of my favorite things to use up boneless, kind of just a chunk of pork shoulder. We'll slice it up. We'll get some of our stresses of the week out and pound it nice and thin. That's an important part of schnitzel. So it couldn't be more perfect because I said I was too stressed yesterday to stream. Check this out. Like, to me, this is so dark for pork meat that it almost looks like beef. Isn't that yummy looking? So they say like fine for barbecue. It was on special. Pork shoulder butt, roast, great for pulled pork, game day fave. I love how they put that stuff on the labels. And yeah, all the beef and pork and chicken from that store is all Canadian. So $20 for 1.3 kilograms of pork shoulder. And the marbling in it, like when we slice this and then pound it out, it's gonna fry up so good, guys. And then just a couple things for the schnitzel. Sam made us some sourdough breadcrumbs once upon a time. So we're gonna use sourdough breadcrumbs to bread the schnitzel pieces. I've never had that before, so I'm really excited to see how it turns out. That's like our little special thing. And then, yeah, we have dried tarragon to use up, so I thought that we would make a Béarnaise sauce because we also have lots of eggs and butter. Here's these. Those are the crummies that he made once upon a time. So we just had some extra sourdough bread that I made. Cut it up or sliced it up, put it in the dehydrator, let it dry out, and then you can blitz it up in like a blender or a RoboCoupe, or if you have none of those, you can even just like smash it up with a little mallet or a pan. You're able to do a lot of things with not that many appliances. You're going to Alberta and the top of BC? You gotta get to Alaska, Jelly. You gotta come through and visit then. Don't go to Alberta, just go here instead. Just go through BC. Yeah, give me a message on either Discord or a whisper on Twitch with anything that you would like to know, because we've done some driving around Alberta and BC. Not like as far north as Northwest Territories and stuff, but I would love to get up there one day. Mish says, did you put tarragon in the Arrow Garden? I didn't, but thanks for the reminder. So I was peeking at it the other day and I saw the little thyme seedling pop up, but then it kind of looked like it went over to the side too much and dried out a bit, so we'll see. But also, good news, our friend Eric came over yesterday. We work with them, and he brought over a cherry tomato plant, 2 pepper plants, sweet ones, not spicy ones, and 2 purple basil plants for us. So we'll get some soil tomorrow after work and get those potted up and see how those grow in containers around. I can never say no to gifted plants. You just can't. Hello, Reskmed. How are you? You bet it would do well in there. It seems hardy. I think so. Tarragon is like one of my faves, and it's like very underrated herb. Not that many people use it here. Okay, so that's the sourdough stuff. I'm also very proud of myself. I fed my starter yesterday. So you know how I said like just wrapping up all those loose ends that were kind of like hanging around in the back of my mind? Goldilocks is alive, and I'm gonna make Samo a loaf of sourdough bread this week.
Sam needs bread.
He's asked me for probably 3 weeks now for a loaf of bread, and I just haven't been mentally, I haven't had the mental capacity to bring that into my life, but this week is the week. I also had to say to him, if you keep buying bread and helping me, then I'm not gonna make the bread. So just don't buy the bread, and then there's no choice.
Then I have to starve.
You're still trying to plan roads. The fastest one seems just straight through Alberta onto the Alaskan highway. Though if you had more time, you'd definitely go through BC. If you have time, go through BC. It's just like a way nicer drive. The roads are like 10 times better on your vehicle. If you're taking your own vehicle, Alberta roads, because I took the road from Edmonton like all the way up to Fort Mac, one of the worst highways I've ever drove on. So just kind of keep that in mind. Alberta highways are terrible because their winters are brutal there, so it just like expands and contracts all through the year, and they haven't been maintaining it as good as they did in the past.
The road outside of Hinton goes north to Alaska.
Okay.
So it just goes up through like Grand Prairie and stuff.
Okay.
Like that, not Fort Mac.
Okay, but still maybe the same. Did you guys ever try growing eggplant? Yes, Yeah, we grew eggplant in the raised beds when we were on Vancouver Island, Mish. So probably same climate as you being in Denmark-ish. Yeah, probably around that. They did good. I bought 4 seedlings already started, so I didn't start them from my own seeds. I think they were like about this big when I got them. And how many eggplants did we get off of them? Like probably at least 12 good sized ones. And I did both the like long, slender Japanese variety as well as the more like plump Italian variety that's dark. I think you'll have a good success with them.
I think we got a dozen normal eggplants.
Right? And they were so good. Okay, guys, let's get started on the day. A couple of recipes linked. It's going to be a simple one. We were thinking about making some spätzle with the Schnitzel today. But Sam's like, you know what? Just kind of take it easy. Use up the potatoes we already have. And that way the Béarnaise sauce will go really nice with the simple boiled buttered potato on the side. And then if you've never had Maggi salad, Maggi is a seasoning. I would say it tastes most like a soya sauce. Just go grab the bottle. This is something I learned from Sam's mom and Sam because he grew up eating a green salad with a salad dressing with Maggi in it and a few other ingredients. So I did find a link for that recipe if you've never heard of it. And then yeah, the Schnitzel is linked there with the Béarnaise sauce. Choose your own side. You could even just boil some egg noodles to go with this. Really yummy. Maggi is huge in Europe. You can also get the little cubes. What? I've had this bottle for so long. It's taken me so like forever to use up, but it doesn't go bad as long as you take care of it. And then this is our other seasoning. Do you know this one, Mish? So Sam's mom like gave us a couple containers of this to have, and this is what we're gonna season the dressing with. So still your oil and vinegar, and then this is like seasoning, herbs, salt, good stuff like that. And then I also found this yesterday. We went to the store and I was browsing through the German section. So we got the proper salada seasoned vinegar to make the dressing too. I said yum. Exciting. Also, I built up the Lego flowers. Somebody set the alarm off. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Vegemite salad vinaigrette. No, no, no. Okay. Let me get the prep list going. Whoa.
Oh,
Last week we did the first page on this book.
you didn't tell them about the most important discovery today.
Oh, yeah. And, okay, grab that. We had the best morning ever outside the window. Our first ever hummingbird came for a visit, and we had to have a laugh at this one because Sam built up some of my Lego flowers. The plum blossom, if you guys know that one, it's like a red petaled flower,
Yeah,
as well as... Yeah, so
similar
it
to
looks
that.
very similar to that, as well as the chrysanthemum just set up in the window, and the hummingbird came up, wanted to go to it. So we're like, oh shit. We've been waiting, so we got that one from the other house beside us, and they said we could set it up. Very exciting. Sam's obsessed with them. Okay, let me open these up. Panko, Schnitzel, Béarnaise. So panko is very good to make Schnitzel too if you like a really crunchy crust. But you could also just use, like what we're using today, regular breadcrumbs is totally fine. Did it try to feed off of the bird? No, it didn't. Right? Hummingbirds are so great. So I was like, okay, we got to get that set up. I'll make some food today and make sure they have some foodies. Your brain doesn't work. It's okay. Mine doesn't either some days. Like I said yesterday in Discord, sorry. I'm only human. I'm not like a superhuman. I'm just a human as far as I know. Me, she like mixing panko and regular breadcrumbs. That is actually true. I've done that before. It could be a bit challenging getting like the proper sticking on, because sometimes the regular crumbs I'll stick on first and then the panko falls off. But that is actually some of the best breading ever. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Cookie. Guys, we're just going over the recipes and we're about to get started. We got a really yummy, so they actually used pork loin. So you can use a couple different cuts of pork when you make schnitzel. Pork loin and pork shoulder are both pretty inexpensive to buy. I mean, as far as in Canada, pork is definitely the least expensive protein currently to purchase. So I think you can't go wrong with either cut of pork. One note on the cuts of pork: if you don't like anything too like fatty and maybe a bit more like chewy, don't go with the pork shoulder. If you like it almost more like a chicken breast kind of, use the pork loin, because that's all going to be the white meat. There's no marbling in it, so you have to be careful that it doesn't dry out, but could be easier to eat for the kiddos. But we really like the pork shoulder. When it's marbled like that, it really like just melts in your mouth all the same.
And if you want zero fat at all, tenderloin.
And yeah, if you want no fat at all to trim, and like might even be nice like little schnitzel medallions, you could use pork tenderloin. It's okay. Maybe we'll try that one day. I kind of like that idea. It's like little hand-sized schnitzels. Because we usually make our schnitzels like the size, one schnitzel fits in the pan. You're surprised pork is cheap? You'd rather be here on a Zoom call? I love that, Cookie. I'm honored that you guys can be here on a Wednesday afternoon. You've never had Béarnaise with pork before, but it sounds nice. So you inspired me, Mish. You inspired us with yours. And Béarnaise is like the top sauce in Denmark, right? I love it. Okay, so they did the loin, and then we'll do our 3-stage breading system. The, what do you call it? Egg wash? Is that what you call it? I guess. So a little bit of eggs mixed with milk, and then the flour, and then the breadcrumbs. So we'll set that up a little bit later when we're getting closer to frying. This is what we chose. We couldn't find a big container of peanut oil, but found this one from the Walmart. That'll be tasty for frying. I'll just do a shallow fry in a big pan is what I'm thinking, and then maybe just finish in the oven. Schnitzel's comfort food, Zakia, for you, but you haven't had it in forever. We don't eat it often. We really don't. But every now and then we get a hankering, and then especially if there's breadcrumbs to use, then we'll make it.
And pork shoulders on sale for
yeah, and if pork's on sale,
$20 for this piece.
Yeah. Because if you go out to eat schnitzel here, it's expensive. A lot of German restaurants are really expensive. You're paying like $30 to $40 for one plate. That whole thing is $20. There's no way that I could eat that much schnitzel in one sitting. Also,
the town that we're living in has 2,200 people. There is a chicken place, 2 pizza places, a diner, a coffee shop, an ice cream place. And that's about it. So other than that, we don't have Uber anymore. We don't got to skip the dishes anymore.
We got to make it all ourselves.
So we make everything ourselves.
What? Maybe you guys can be in Copenhagen together. I hope that works out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so someone else said already veal schnitzel is so good, and it honestly is. It's true. Okay, so that's that. And then for the sauce, let me just write this down first. Our schnitzel. Make the prep list so we don't forget anything. We'll do pork. Pound it out. We got the meat mallet here. Gonna cause a ruckus. They're in the fridge bottom. You gotta get it out of the back of the thing. The drawer. Okay, pork. Pound it out, and then we have to bread it. So I'll write breading station. The flour. And I like to do this in shallow pans. It's just easier to flip the meat over back and forth. And bigger area makes it easier to get it coated evenly. Our egg wash. And then the breadcrumbs, easy. And then after that, pretty simple. Also, one thing I didn't say is after you pound out the pork fillets or whatever you have, I always season it with salt and pepper before we bread it. Some people like to season their flour for the breading station, but I find that the seasoning just doesn't get distributed as evenly. Samo is handing out nuts. Schnitzel man from Hoodwinked is all you can think about right now. I need to Google Schnitzel man. What? Ah! He's scary, but why does my face kind of look like it? That's so creepy, but I really like it. Maybe one day we'll dress up like that, Jelly. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong thing. Samo, this is Schnitzel man. Okay, moving on. So next hardest thing is the Béarnaise sauce. If you guys have had Eggs Benedict, you know what Hollandaise sauce is. It's basically just that plus tarragon and a little bit of white wine vinegar. So we need egg yolk. We need the butter clarified. Don't forget about that. And then obviously the tarragon and other things. And then our potato for this side. We're just gonna maybe quarter them, cut them up into nice bite-sized pieces, boil it in some salted water. Toss it with butter after it's boiled. It gets nice and like coated and saucy. And then that will be it for that. And then lastly, our salad. We got some greens to wash up, cucumber, tomato, and the dressing. So a few components to work on for sure today. Not the easiest looking list, honestly, but I think we'll be a-okay. Let's get started with the pork. I always like to start with the most difficult thing. I wasn't sure if I seen someone walking up to the door, but I always like to start with the most difficult thing and get that out of the way, and then your day kind of gets easier as you go on. Because you kind of get like less and less mental capacity as you keep working, right? So if you do the hard thing first, then it doesn't seem so daunting if you save that for the end. I did not come up with that rhubarb dessert. So that's a special or a feature that they've had previously. I think last year they made it, they said. So they were kind of familiar with all the components and it was easy for them to execute. But hopefully this upcoming week, Mish, I get to work with Chef and the sous chef to come up with another rhubarb themed dessert. We're thinking rhubarb, strawberry, and basil with a little bit of shortbread crumb. I'll let you guys know how it goes, but it should be really delicious, this next one. And yeah, we're going into feature season, so every single week we're gonna have a different feature dessert. So stay tuned in Discord for all that fun stuff. Okay, let's clear all this off. Get out our cutting board, some butchery stuff, and away we go. You once made a basil ice cream, would probably be amazing with a rhubarb add-in. Yes. Yeah, we're thinking it's something called cremeux. It's not ice cream, but it's also not mousse. It's like something in the middle of that. So a basil cremeux and then like the poached rhubarb and strawberry pieces with vanilla. Should be delicious. Okay, what do I want to use here? I think this big cutting board I have on the side should work good. There's like a little bit of blue on it from the other board. It is very fancy. So that is also part of like why at the end of our work week I'm pretty tired because it's been a lot of stuff for me to learn. It's not like as much as the food is simple, it still takes a lot of thought process behind all the different recipes and the way that they do things. So yes, very much fancy compared to any other place I've worked. Not that I've not worked at fancy places, but just the plating part is wild to me. But it's very fun. Okay, let's get into it. Oh yeah, this camera that you guys see right now, this camera arm like fell down this week, so we had to redo that as well before stream. Yeah, there was a lot of things we had to fix up, but we're back. We're here. When is it supposed to get busier? So typically, like Mother's Day weekend is kind of the kickoff. That's what people have been saying, at least. So we'll see. I have to also get used to where this sits. And some other fun things is some of the holidays as well coming up this season. I think also Mother's Day, Chef said when we had the meeting, is we get to do a pop-up actually at the restaurant here where we're living. So we live at one winery and we work at another, but they're both under the same owner now. And there's a restaurant here currently not open, but they're trying to get it going again. So yeah, we get to do fun things like that this summer, which I think is going to be such a fun break from always working in the busy kitchen. Look at how good this looks. I don't know if this knife is even big enough. I might have to go grab Samo's. 10 minutes of presentation. Let's just say like my salads are more difficult and almost take longer to plate than the food that Sam has to cook. Let me go grab the knife kit. Is it under the bed, the knife kit? Where's your knives?
Yep. The boarding knives on the top.
Yeah, the fork is too big for it.
Oh, okay.
The other knives got left at work, guys. And I said, oh gosh. My scimitar's in here. What else we got? I just have to give it a little rinse-a-roo. It's been a hot minute. Dun 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 dun. We got it. I'm happy that wasn't in the knife bag. What's everyone else got on the go today? Okay, let's see what we're working with. Started getting the greenhouse ready. Nice. Yeah, I'm itching now. Okay, it's tied in 2 spots. This is very nice and compact though, and I don't think there's anything that we have to trim off. Those butchers are really good there. But this, like leaving the strings on as we slice it right now, probably gonna help us get a nice thinner slice. So I'm gonna start from this side and slice towards this side. How thick should we try to slice it, Samo? Like 1/3 of an inch thick, maybe? Let's see. I'm also gonna try to keep this even. You can see it's like Not very even on this end. There. We'll also see how this is kind of tied together. Because sometimes there's a nick from the shoulder blade and it'll kind of open up. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, that's where the shoulder blade goes. If anything, I'll probably just do this. Slice it right there into 2 different pieces, and you'll have this, and then this we can just do like a few different small pieces of schnitzel that way. That is so dark, it seriously looks like beef. Eggplant, chilies, tomatoes, cucumber. Might try butternut squash in the raised bed. Yeah, why not? You know what's actually helping this right now is that this roast is a little bit chilled from the freezer still. So it's making it actually easier for me to slice. Okay, I cut through a string on the bottom. I'm trying to keep it a really even thickness is what I'm working on most here as I'm slicing this. So then take that apart, set that over to the side. We're gonna pound. There's that. Hi, gaffle bitters. Yeah, we moved for work. Thanks for posting that, Mish. Mickey, you doing good this week? Okay, I'm gonna try to get maybe 3 more slices out of this. Okay, this is actually working out pretty good. I'd rather have that nice meaty chunk. Alright, let's maybe get 1 more. You gotta finish work at 4 instead of 5 every week, which is better, and you have Fridays off? Nice, dude. Okay, so this is literally gonna just fall apart. I'm just gonna do this. Boom. And then for this part, I'm gonna just trim this fat. Oh good, that's gonna be fried up. I'm gonna try and get this chunk a bit more evenly sliced. Nice. There's a bit of connective tissue there in the center. We'll see how that goes, but that's not a presentation piece anyways. I'm not overly concerned. Those are the snack chunks. Clem! Good to see you. How is your week? We are having a great day. We're rested up. We took yesterday off because we're back to work tomorrow. How do I want to cut this? See how uneven that looks? Hopefully that helped. It is a scimitar knife actually, used in butchery. I don't think I can go any thinner on this. It's too risky. This is where the meat slicer comes in so handy. So then what did we get here? I'll just get rid of that on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. And then those little pieces on the side, I'm just gonna put those ones in a small container for now. It's hot. Oh no. It's been pretty warm here this last week too at work. But we're slowly getting used to it. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the pounding part. I just have a few things to grab, so let me wash up my hands. You want a trip to Cape Cod? You're going in 2.5 weeks? How fun is that? I've always wondered what it feels like to win a trip. How did you win that? What did you sign up for? Yeah, you're gonna enjoy the beach for sure. Okay. We got the meat mallet, and then we'll need a Ziploc bag or piece of plastic. Hopefully you have that. And we'll open it up. Cut the edges. And then we'll use that as a barrier so that the mallet doesn't get too caked with the raw meat, because that's gross. And then this also helps give it a nice even surface. This we do not reuse after today. Just take a new bag and make one. Let's see how crazy this is gonna get here. Valk, how are you doing? Okay, so we'll put those to the side for now. I think I'll switch to a pair of tongs here so I don't have to get my hands messy as we work along. You enter sweepstakes daily? You enter so many that you genuinely forget? What? That is so cool, Clem. What, if anything, does the pounding do? So it tenderizes as well as makes it thinner. Because you want a certain thickness for schnitzel. You don't want it too thin where it dries out and gets like overly crisp and the meat loses all the nice juiciness of it. But then you also don't want it too thick that it's really chewy and hard to eat. And yeah, also, right, quicker cooking that way too. I'm doing good, Val. Thanks for asking. Okay, so we can just leave the pile there if you want, but I think it'll be easier if we have the whole surface to use. So same container that I put the other little nubbins in, it's just sitting beside the board here. Just gonna lift those other 3 off, and then that can be front and center. So you could see on this chunk, there's like some really yummy fatty bits that are gonna crisp up, and then the meatier side is that gonna stay there. And then one other thing I will grab, can lay this over though, is let's just get a, I think, sheet pan to put the pounded out pieces of meat onto. And then we can season them from there. Maybe I'll just get it prepped with a piece of parchment. We've also cooked schnitzel a few different ways now on stream over the years. Sam's mom does a pretty cool method where you could just use butter and then bake it in the oven. Turns out pretty nice. But we've also done it deep fried too. Okay, so first to start, we use the more aggressive side, and then when you're happy with the thickness, just to even it out, then you can do the smooth side. And then you kind of want to like push and pull the meat as you do this. So it's not as much about like using force as it's like directing it where you want it to go. And then if this is too fatty, because that usually doesn't pound out very nice, I might just trim that off now. Let's see if that helps. Who has made schnitzel before? You could also say though if you've gone out to eat it. I think one other thing I'm gonna quickly do is just put a towel as a barrier under this board. And it'll help it from smacking against it. Maybe keep the noise level down. the rattle part. Okay, let's see how that goes. Nice, that's way better. So it's more about getting it even thickness all around. So like this side's pretty tapered. I'm not going too crazy. This side was a bit thicker. That's working really nice. Okay. Now you can flip it over. Give it a little spankaroo. If you think it got not thin enough, you can go more, and that's it. But you can see how much that small piece has expanded now. Like this is a bigger one than what we started with. But if we put it beside, like that's kind of where we started, right? So all of that around, all extra surface area for yummy flavors. Now you just lift that up. I'm gonna just place it on here, and then I'll try to space it all out so we all have one even surface for the meat to get seasoned. Just lift that back up. Nice. Lay it down, and now we have room for the other pieces to go. Okay, next one. How's this? That fat wasn't as hard, so I don't have to worry about trimming it. You never heard of what before? Schnitzel? Had one of my best schnitzels ever in London, and also like one of my first proper ones, but sadly that restaurant doesn't exist anymore. It's also been like 10 plus years since I was there. I wonder what the neighbors are thinking. They're like, wow, chefs are over there, we're cooking up lunch. I mean, if they come ask what we're making, I'll give them a piece of schnitzel. Pretty sure the family that owns Wild Goose here is all German, right? They said that? They know this sound. That looks so good. Okay, this fat here, kind of just tell how it is. Might slice that part off. That place slaps. Nice, Mish. Are you guys finding good schnitzel spots? See, there's not even that much to trim off. It's Wednesday. Greek, you're right. Don't scare me like that. I was like, is it Wednesday? How's Greek doing today? It's going really good, dude. It's busy. It's a really good challenge, I think, for both Samo and us to like achieve our next step in life. This is the push we need. And I think we're gonna be really happy in the next coming years of our life. Look at how good that looks. And it really doesn't take long to do this step. I think it's an important part that you shouldn't skip. How can we fit this part on? Maybe I'll go in the middle more. Okay, do that. kind of be strategic. And then we can fit, hopefully, the other 2 pieces around. Oh, this is the last big piece anyways. That fat feels nice. I'm not gonna trim it off. You're changing a lot of stuff too. It's good to make a change. It's always scary when you first know you need to, because it's much easier to just revert to your old ways. That's way easier for your brain to handle, right? So you'll catch yourself doing that. But so far, all the changes we've made have been awesome. That feels pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. This was a meaty one. And then just a little bit to like even it up. You're scared of injecting microplastics. Oh, with this part? Like, fair enough. The bag is definitely like not ripped through at all. I would say yes. If you notice that you're pounding really, really hard to the point of where you're getting like plastic shreds all over, probably use a different method. And I only said use this method so that you don't get this all gross, but if you don't care about that, then that is okay too. I think at this point in our life, if you're like a millennial, you are already full of microplastics, sadly. I don't know if you guys have seen those reports, but like, I don't always like to think about those things. I usually try to stream so that we don't have to think about those crazy things that happen in the world. Look how yummy that's looking. Okay, so let's get a few of these other meatier pieces that I had. We can pound them out together. And then the other pieces, we can just fry up on the side. Is this vegetarian? Nope, not at all. If you're vegetarian, probably click away. Moving to a place, renting it for a couple months, selling the house. Nice, Greek. I hope it all works out. You just had an asbestos outbreak at work? Whoa, Mish. So you're gonna be like a mutant then? You're superhuman? Is that how you get superhuman? The vacuum was set to blow instead of suck? That is so bad. What? Greeks move into the country. Is there gonna be a lot of peaches? We are done making the ruckus. Whoop whoop. Watch out, everyone. Okay, get that gone. Thanks for your service, Ziploc. There's gonna be homesteading and chickens, a couple pigs, maybe a horse or two, and a cow. That sounds fun. The other day I was cracking eggs to make ice cream from all the yolks, and Chef just comes up to me and he's like, you know, I think we should probably invest in a chicken farm. And I was like, you know, I'm into that. If you ever need help, let me know. And that was about the convo, so we'll see if it happens. Okay, now that can be seasoned. I don't know if I'll season it quite yet. Let's get rid of this messy stuff, but we'll hang on to the tongs so that we don't need our hands messy. Just gonna rinse this and then get the other stuff away. Is that a Bobberino? You're gonna become a freak. Who said that? Remember the marmots? We did the test last night, Mish. I had a tomato plant, 2 pepper plants, and 2 basil plants out on the balcony on the egg. I mean, nothing got eaten overnight. Whether they were feeling ballsy enough to climb up there. So far, so good, though. I need to figure out what their favorite thing is. And just distract them with that on someone else's property. Rinse off the porky bits. And then we'll also wash our hands. I think next we'll get the potatoes cut up, so that those are ready to go in the pot. Because once the schnitzel's breaded, it's pretty quick. Pretty quick to make. Yeah, they have a marmot issue here, unfortunately. I think the property was left empty too long, and then the marmots took it over. I don't know what to do, but they're protected here, so not like you can do anything like that. Your aunt's coming tomorrow from New Zealand. Fun. You will Google it? One was going nuts this morning, just doing the crazy call. Chew! Chew! It was so loud, it like echoed through the whole valley. I was like, are you okay back there? Are you okay over there? Are you okay? Just look over at Sam and he's like dying coughing. What are you doing? Is everyone okay? Potatoes! We got 4 potatoes, Samo. That's enough? Sam was coughing. He was. Well, I don't know if I want to mix the russets in with the yellow. These are called sunrise potatoes, guys. Your 2 other aunts are also coming, Mickey? You're having a party then. Get the wine out. Samo's home. Right now we still have the same days off, but we'll see how that one goes. We should at least have 1 day off per week together. Okay. Just calculating all my pans and stuff that I'll be using today. Let's do this. Get out the pan for the schnitzel. Nice wide pan. That's that one. We need to clarify butter still for the Béarnaise. We'll use this little pot for that. And then we also need the pot for the potatoes, which can be small. Okay. Calculated. Do that for our taters. There's a couple of little dirt specks and stuff I see, so we'll just peel off whatever we wouldn't want to eat. Like that probably tastes like mold. But leave on most of the skin if you can, because that's all good nutrients for us. Marmots don't make good pets, Mish? Shoot. So then what? Now what are we gonna do? Get a gerbil? I think we need a cat more than a gerbil. I think the cat would honestly help that situation. Chinchillas, yeah. I've known a few people in my life that had chinchillas as pets. They're so cool. Okay, so this is really easy part. All these potatoes are pretty much the same size. This one's a bit bigger, so let's cut this one up first since it's the smallest, and we'll quarter it. And then see how the other ones compare. So we want this all to be the same size. Can we still half this? I think so. That was the other small one anyways. Can a cat kill a marmot? Yeah, so the marmots are like same size as cats here. I think them just being around each other though might deter, right? You'd be like, man, this place isn't safe. I'm out of here. I wasn't asking for that part. They coexist. Shoot. So the cat wouldn't do it either. That was so deceiving. Those 4 small potatoes filled up half of this pot. So now we're gonna fill that with some cool water. And we'll put some salt in there and get that on the stove top, and that's ready to go. That will probably take around 20 minutes, 25 minutes to cook. So just keep that in mind when we're getting close to finishing up the schnitzel. Make sure you turn your potato pot on. Titchery? Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. We need a dog, I guess. Yep, that's where we're at. No bland potatoes in this house. Let's put this back here. I gotta move the schnitzel pan out of the way. Okay. Wipe this up. Our starchy potato spot. What else is on this list? Hi, Uncle Stinky. I am getting more comfortable in this kitchen for sure. My 3rd week in it, starting to get used to washing dishes by hand all the time. And yeah, starting to kind of feel at home. It's nice. Okay, so we pounded the pork out. We got the potato on for boiling. We just need a bit of butter there. Which maybe we will prep the butter right now. That sounds like a good thing. So we'll just cube up a bit of butter to mix into the potatoes after they're boiled. And then we'll also measure out the butter that has to be clarified for the Béarnaise sauce. It's a butter and egg yolk based sauce. So for the boiled potatoes, because they're also going to be eaten with the Béarnaise sauce, but we'll do something like that. It's probably like maybe 2 tablespoons of butter, maybe 3 tablespoons of butter. And then we can just leave those to the side. And those will melt in no problem. And then as far as making the Béarnaise, I usually go about 1/3 of a cup of butter. Or a 1/2 cup of butter. But I'm going to go with this 1/3 cup of butter for the 2 portions of Béarnaise sauce. Even 3 portions that usually you can get out of this. And actually, Mish, they do. So that's the only piece of equipment that's nicer than anything that we have. And even then it looks kind of sad. I haven't used it yet. But it doesn't look like it's been loved as much as it should be for how much I know it costs. Am I making sauerkraut Greek? I'm not, but we do have some yummy beet sauerkraut made from beets in the fridge. Maybe I'll try it with this today. It's really purple, so I think the color contrast would go nice. And then yeah, sauerkraut's pretty typical for being eaten with German food. Okay, that is that. You can basically schnitzel anything, veggies too. Yeah, you can. I've heard that like mushrooms breaded are very much like a breaded meat if you do it right. Okay, we got the butter for clarifying. We got the butter for the potatoes. Check. Flour, egg wash, breadcrumb. For the Béarnaise, we need some egg yolks and tarragon still. We can work on that later. And then just our salad to prep. So I think actually we'll roll into prepping our salad stuff. So we also have to make our dressing. And then that can just hang out in the fridge until we're ready. And then on to Schnitzel land. Okay, we got our lettuce. Oh yeah, cauliflower. Breaded cauliflower is a very popular vegan item. You like my voice? Thank you. A lot of people say I have a calming voice. It's a pretty common occurrence for people to fall asleep while watching the stream if you're in a different time zone. Wash up our tomatoes. We'll just put them on the side. And then we gotta wash our lettuce. I don't think it's too dirty though. I can't confirm, Nish. Yes, Greek, yeah. I've fallen asleep to Kate and I'm actually in the same time zone. That's so good. What the heck? We got a cilantro. A bonus cilantro leaf in with the lettuce. Nice. Okay, so this is just some green leaf lettuce. But you can see there's actually a few, if you look closer, some sneaky spots that aren't so nice. So I always say to pick those spots off first before you wash it and cut it out. It'll just be harder once it's all in small pieces. So cut off the end, and then usually it's only the outer leaves that get like this. If you're gonna eat it all in the same day, the lettuce, and you don't have to serve it to somebody else that would be like, why are you serving me brown lettuce? Then don't care about it as much, right? But I'll definitely pick out the parts where it like really probably isn't gonna taste good from that. But we try to not throw out food here if we can. It's too expensive to do that. The sizzle and cutting ASMR too, Greek? Yes. All of the sounds in the kitchen are very calming. Like I would often after school when I was young and came home afterwards, I wouldn't just like go do my homework right away. I was the kid that would like fall asleep on the couch while waiting for my mom to finish cooking dinner. So I totally understand. I've actually like toyed with the idea of just doing silent streams where I don't talk, and then you just have the ASMR sounds of everything going on. I think that would be a unique experience that I've not seen yet on Twitch. But like the whole part of Twitch is to be interactive as the streamer, right? So that would be a challenge for me to not talk to you guys. I don't know, what do you think? Maybe we can try it out one day. Probably be more of like a YouTube thing, right? Because like if you're live, you want to be talking to people. Okay, I got the inner leaves. They all look pretty good. There's this one other spot here. It's 1 a.m. there, you mean? Just pitch black? Whoa. Oh, I don't know if where you guys live, the moon looked so cool last night. But the way that the sliver of the moon illuminated the rest of it is like just that small sliver of light from the moon made you see the rest of it. It was so cool looking. Samo made me go look. And yeah, you need very good microphone placement. That's so true. And like proper settings. Oh, you were making a joke. Nice, Mish. Just me breathing heavily, right? It definitely wouldn't be like a mic on the person thing. You'd have different mics set around the kitchen. Did you tell us, Mickey, that you're growing your own veggie garden? You didn't. So what are you growing? Okay, so now we gotta rinse these all up because, yeah, there's a lot of bugs and stuff on them. How do I want to do this? Let's get some cold water running. Maybe just a bowl and then into the salad spinner. I'll go grab the salad spinner. We'll set it up on this other side. Oh, and our people are here. Samo, they're here. Emmerich's here. They just went around the other side, but just be aware. They're here, they're here. We got this salad spinner at work. This is just like a miniature version. I think the one at work is double this size. This thing I love so much because you can just pipe it right into the sink. Okay. Yeah, this is the mini version of the one at work. They get so big, like huge. Has Torino messed with us? I think he did the last few streams that we were cooking when the internet just randomly cut out. And then after that it was fine. I think he was messing with us. I was just looking at what kind of bowls and stuff I have to use, but I'll just do this. We'll just do this white one. So a big old bowl, just gonna put it in the sink to fill up with cold water. And then we can rinse all of our lettuce in there. It works really good when you submerge it like that. And then we'll also need a bowl to make our salad in, so I'll grab that out. For chopping the lettuce up. We say no thank you to the little buggies. I like how the cameras are set up in this kitchen compared to the last one we were in. You can like pretty much always see me, even if I'm at the sink. I used to disappear before. And people would come in and be like, "Where's Kate?" And then we gotta spin it all out. There's so much bugs in the water. Holy. We would have had some extra protein for sure. Hey, Sam. Whoa. Boom. I'll just take all the water out of this so the sink stays clear. This is also really good water. Anytime you wash veggies at home, and if you have a garden, just pour that water back into the garden. Not down the sink. Conservation, people. Okay, I made a bit of a mess. 1 sec. Okay, let's put the lid on. It's so loud. I don't know why this one's so loud. Why is the gear on this insanely loud?
Versus
the other ones. Just because it's small? Just because the gear is like the same size and this is just a small container?
And it's not been thrown through a dishwasher.
True, true. Okay, we're not gonna be able to cut all of this lettuce up, I think, for the salad because it's a lot for 2 people.
Stopping and like breaking the gears on it.
True. So I'll take all of the smaller pieces that aren't very nice, and then we will keep, I think, these 3. I just didn't turn it on until I need it. Sam's asking about the gimbal back there, guys. Yeah, the one at work isn't this loud, but Sam's saying that's because the gear on it's like stripped. So a little bit into the fridge, and then we'll chop up the rest. It really does sound like a plane. It's nutty niche. Even that's a lot of lettuce still. Ruh-roh. Are we eating a lot of salad today, Samuel? He said he'll eat a decent amount. Okay, let's see what we end up with then. So now from here I try to stack up like-sized leaves. The big ones together, put the smaller ones together. I can go there. I think I might still pack some of these away, those 3. Is that the last really big one? Nice. Stack these random bits together and then the last small pieces. Okay, let's kind of start here, I think. So I usually cut it into like around 1-inch strips for width. And then stack it, and then you can cut up your pieces of lettuce from there. Whether you want them bigger or smaller, and then just have your salad bowl in front to throw it into. There's just a Ziploc bag in the fridge, please. In the drawer. You can add that to it. It was just a lot of lettuce. And you said you wanted lots, but this is going to be too much if we use those. You want the whole head of lettuce uncut still on the stem? Well, we kind of make a salad like that at work. Like a play on a Caesar salad, and you use the romaine heart, the small ones. Okay, so now those same like 1-inch thick strips, you just go along this whole thing. Like, it's not going to be perfect, just try your best. But this is what I found to be some of the quickest way to prep salads, let's say. Hear how crunchy that is? Wow. Yeah, exactly, like a wedge kind of salad, Greek. You got it. Samuel got some really nice compliments actually this past week at work, where like the people told the server but they have to tell the chef that that was the best food they've ever eaten. So yeah, guess you guys can say that we're doing really good. That's like a huge compliment. Considering that was like Sam's only 5th day kind of working. Okay, toss that all up. Look how nice that looks. We'll core the tomato. I loved the wedge salad Greek. My mom would make it with like the wedge of iceberg, creamy cucumber dressing, tomato, crispy bacon, cucumber pieces, and then like homemade pan-fried croutons. It's freaking delicious in the summer. Very refreshing. Trim this little piece off here. Okay, I'll get some nice pieces of tomato. I like it pretty chunky. Want to go smaller than this? Maybe. I'll just go in half, I think, like that. Remember when you ordered a salad at a Fairmont? Yeah, right? Like that's been done for so long. Yum. The tomatoes are like making my mouth water. Hey, we gotta make the dressing next. That was so easy. I'm gonna put that in the fridge now, so everything stays nice and cold and fresh. Is there room? I gotta move my little soup container. Nice. Perfect. Let's also wipe off the board. Yes, yeah, no, like it's not even cut up. It's true. So you're paying like $30 for a salad that you still have to cut up at the table? It's funny, right? Like as a customer, you got to think about those things. Greek, you're so right. Okay, we have a few of the ingredients for the dressing already over here. Samo brought them for us earlier. A seasoning. We got the Maggi. We have our salad vinegar. I'm gonna use a mix of the peanut oil and olive oil, just so the olive oil is not too overpowering. And then I think just reading through the recipe that I linked, they did just a little bit of some Dijon mustard, which will help it emulsify. The Dijon. Come to me, mustard container. I always stick it in the back of the fridge because I don't use it often. But then like basically every stream I use it. The way we do it's way better I agree, Greek. Okay, let's push this stuff up. Let's get a container. I usually just like to shake up the dressing in a container. As long as the lid fits tight, and then this can just go straight in the fridge. Easy mode. What do they say? 3 tablespoons of light tasting olive oil. So this is a pretty small recipe amount they're making. Let's start with this. Nice. Okay, it is open. So this salata I've never used. It says a quick and convenient way of giving salads that fresh flavor of herbs and spices. There's natural dill flavor in there. Yum. Okay, so it's like a seasoned vinegar, so there's a bit of sugar as well. Yeah, that's how we often do Caesar. It's just so easy to eat it that way. So nice. Whenever I make dressings at home, especially vinaigrettes, I always start with the vinegar component of it. Because that's like the strongest flavor, right? And then everything else we can add to that and dilute that flavor. They also, no lemon in this. I was going to say maybe a bit of lemon if you want, but nope. A little spoon of this mustard. Like I said, it helps emulsify the vinegar and oil. Proper vinaigrette. You don't need a lot. Like a teaspoon is lots. And it will work its magic without you really tasting the mustard. Now, some seasoning. So this reminds me of just like a vegetable bouillon. I forget if I've ever Googled this though for you guys. I have, okay. I found this site for it. Give me one sec. I have to accept the cookies first. When do they send those cookies, by the way? You need like a certain amount of cookies and then they'll send them? I keep accepting them, but no cookies ever show up. Okay, so that's the tail fix. Make sure it's not too chunky. We'll do from the other side. It seems like safer. Maybe not, actually. I don't know if all the yummy bits will get through there. We'll stop there because there's a bit of salt and stuff in there too. It says 4 to 6 dashes of your Maggi. There is wheat gluten in this, also MSG. And it kind of tastes like soy sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's do a bit of each oil. We'll do half and half of it. So when I add the oil to the vinaigrette jar, I usually add the oil so that it looks like there's an equal amount of it to the vinegar. Same amount. And then when you mix it up, it doesn't taste too vinegary. So I'll show you, because the oil will sit on top of the vinegar. Go like that for that one. A little bit more there. And if you look there, it's like half and half. We got our seasonings in there. Now we're just gonna shake it up. And it's always good to make this a bit early because then the flavors are gonna meld together as you finish off the rest of the dish. Are you just gonna eat some salad? Oh, we're tasting it. Okay, so everything is mixed in, emulsified. I'll try and swipe this stuff off of the lid. Let's see how we did. Gets the Samo to try. Maybe a bit more Maggi.
Yep, like maybe.
I did 5 dashes.
No.
1, 2, 3.
And then just a little bit more Taylor fix.
Okay. We were close though.
Perfect.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, we used to do that creek. I remember at Big Rock. So that was like 2016-ish. That was pretty popular then. We would grill the half romaine heart and like char it a bit. It's good as long as you don't leave it on the grill too long and then the lettuce goes like soggy, right? Okay, I want to try this too to make sure. And then we can put that in the fridge with the salad. That is really balanced. The flavor of this is so good. It just tastes like veggies. It's like sweet and vegetal. And then the Maggi makes it like umami, I would say. Okay, post it up. We're rolling through this today. Right, yeah, not $30. Like, who pays $30 for a half piece of romaine? I understand it. Salad, greens, cut, the tomato, and the dressing. Completed. Okay. Schnitzel time momentarily. I'm just going to do a quick cleanup of these things we took out for the dressing before we go on to the next task. We'll make our breading station. Keep the peanut oil for frying. Everyone have a quick sip of water. That's fair. I do that a lot at restaurants where it's like, what are you having? I need to try that. Okay, so before we make our breading station, we can season the pork.
I provided our service provider with a lemonade and a Swedish berry.
Nice. Is he happy?
Very.
Sam's taking care of the Telus guy. It's a warm one out there today. Wow, look at how good that looks on there. Whoa. Okay, salt and pepper, that's all we're using. If you want to do anything crazier, you can. But I'm not going to today. I always put a good amount of pepper on. So I only season the one side. Spiced with herbs? Yummy, Greek. Well, at least they went like a little bit extra. They spiced it up. One nice layer of kosher salt. Because we can always put more salt on after it's fried, which I would most often suggest. Whenever you fry something in oil, it's always good to season it after it comes back out of that oil. It can taste a little bit fatty otherwise on the palate. that looks great. So now that'll soak in as we work on making the breading station. Just put that back over. They went pretty extra with it. It's a real salad, okay? Okay, what do we want here? Let's do, we need 3 different pie pans. I love these pans the most when we're breading schnitzel. Might be a bit risky with the size of them, but we'll make it work. So there's 3 steps always when you bread things. The first step is flour. So you put the flour first onto the meat or vegetables to help then the egg and milk stick. And then from there, you go into the breadcrumbs. So let's do the easy one first, since they're already ready for us. Pour some breadcrumbs in. And then I try to not use up too much breadcrumbs, because once it touches the raw meat, it's not like you can really reuse it after. So I'd rather add extra at the end if I need than be left with a lot of breadcrumbs that I have to throw out. So I usually pour a bit to start, just keep the bag or container in front, and then see what you need. And yeah, these are from my own homemade bread. How cool. And then the next easy one, some flour. Just all-purpose flour. We don't need anything crazy. I've never done it with whole wheat flour. That might affect the flavor. And this will be more than enough flour. Probably don't even need that much. We'll start with that. Yeah, right? Charred lettuce. It sounds so weird. You're like, how is that gonna work? But it is good. You can only do it on lettuces that have enough crunch to hold up to that, right? Now let's get some eggs. I think just 2 eggs will be good. You gotta add some milk as well. I'm just gonna whip up the egg in a small container first. It'll be too hard to mix only 2 eggs on there. And you really want to make sure it's all smooth. The egg yolk and egg white. Ooh. Let's just dig out whatever that is. They're farm eggs again, guys, so if we find weird things in them, that's why. I'm so used to this though from living on the island. Just take it out. Talk to enough farmers now to know what's edible and what's not. Okay, fork. Yeah, right, it has to be like the heart of the lettuce. Otherwise it goes soggy and nobody likes that. Whip it. Okay, all smooth. And I guess, you know what? Just make our life easy. Instead of trying to mix it in that plate, just a little bit of milk so the eggs aren't like as sticky. Whip until it can't walk. You got it, Captain Taft. Wait, what? Not that much. Wait, what? Okay, now that's all one mixture. Boom. See, even after all that, you You can still see a yolky bit. That's a challenge, I tell you. I've been doing so good on snoozing the ads for you guys today. I hope you appreciate it. Okay, what else is left on this list? Flour, we season the pork, egg wash, breadcrumb. We just need egg yolks for the béarnaise and tarragon, and also the clarified butter. So I'm going to get the clarified butter working as we bread the pork for the next step. So it goes flour, egg, and then breadcrumb. I'm going to do it, how do I want to do this? I think we can maybe fit it all together. Yeah, that works. And then bring the pork over here to work. Set it on there because that works good for an extra surface. You can use tongs. I think I'll just put on a pair of gloves though and use my hands rather. But yeah, I'm going to turn on this little pot for our clarified butter for the béarnaise sauce. Just get it going on the back here because it'll take a few minutes. Okay, glovies. And then one other thing that's really important before we start. I'm gonna get one more sheet pan for us. And then we're gonna put a metal rack onto it. Because after you bread the pork, you don't want it to then sit flat on the parchment because it's gonna get soggy underneath where you breaded it. So you want the air to be able to flow around it, which is why I said you don't want to do this too early. Because then you'll run into the issues where, I don't know if you've had breaded food before, where the breading just comes off. That's why. So this really helps after you bread it. Just put the pork on there, and then from there we can fry it. I don't think I want to put it onto where we're going to cook it, so I'll just set that up beside the stovetop where we'll be working. Nice. Okay, let's do this, guys. It is schnitzel time. The tongs over by the stove top. Okay, we'll start with this really big one, and then as we bread this, I always try to do like this hand touch the pork, so then we got to keep it like more dry. I think I'm gonna do with the flour first, and then this other hand can be more messy with the egg and breadcrumb. But let's see. So give it a nice tap. If you notice any spots that aren't completely coated with the flour, just pack it onto there. And then we'll just shake this excess off. But this is a very important step. So you want to make sure your flour is on there really evenly, because that's what's going to help everything else to stick. So then next we go here into the egg. Lift that back up, let it drain off. You don't want too much egg to go into the breadcrumb ever, because then it gets really clumpy and messy as well. And then gently lay it down into the crumbs, because your hand's already messy here, right? Just give it a gentle tap. And then this is going to help with the other side. That's our dry hand. These are our own sourdough breadcrummies. Go psh, 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 around until it's coated enough to your liking. Mish, thanks for the 1 biddy. I appreciate that. And now we can lift it up with this clean hand. How's this side? A little bit more there. Same with on there. Done. All the way back here. I'll show you how I placed it on there. So that's how it looks. That looks really good. I think that's gonna crisp up so nice. Okay, we have a few more pieces. Let's go. And then one thing I do with the breadcrumbs after every time is just even the plate back out. Same with the flour. Just give it a little shaky. Nice, perfectly coated. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Even it out. Do the other side. Okay. Nice. Second one done. I was like, what is that noise outside? But no, it's just my butter melting. Sounded like it was outside. So butter's up and melting. That's good. Let's keep going. This one's kind of fall aparty, so we'll do our best to keep it together. I've made this dish enough times now that it's actually a really relaxing thing for me to make. It's gonna be so nummy. It's one of the few things that I'll actually deep fry at home too, or like set up a fryer for. Yeah, Mickey, it's warm where you're at. We've had some pretty warm days too. Nice, Mish. A little pre-prep? Or did you just make some extra rice? You didn't just like make it specifically for fried rice? That's so smart. I'm gonna lift this up. I think we're gonna need more crumbs. Yep, we'll need more crumbs for the last half of this stuff. Definitely. Okay, I so like that username. At first I was like, hey, how am I gonna say this? But I understood it. Instead of definitely, it's just definitely. I love it. Look at this. We're getting bunged up here, guys. Okay, also just gonna turn the butter down a bit. She is sizzling for the Béarnaise sauce. Take it easy, please. You made it specific actually for it. That's amazing. Even like I'm usually too lazy to do that. What type of fried rice are you gonna make? Just like a veggie one? Or something fancy? Okay, a few more pieces. This is our last main piece. And then the other ones are like little snack bits. now smells very delicious and buttery inside the kitchen. Some shrimpies, yum. I need a bit more egg up here. There we go. Rusty oven proof. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. Hopefully your oven's not rusty. That doesn't sound good. That can't be good. Yeah. At least it's oven proof. It's true, Mish. We might not have won on one part, but you can at least put it in the oven. That counts for something. Suki's here. Hello, friend. I hope you're doing well. As a carb addict, it's so funny how like buttered potato is such just like a yummy, simple side. Why are we obsessed with this? But yeah, I guess if you really like potatoes, that is a side dish. Just like straight up comfort food to me, at least. Same with Samo. Like you'll see later on if they're sitting in the pot while we're waiting to plate on the schnitzel, he'll probably just munch them out of the pot. He loves them that much. Okay, how is this? I'm gonna turn off the butter. Just let it sit on the stovetop. This is where we're at. It's pretty much clarified. Just don't want it to get any darker. Okay, just these last few pieces. Best day or best get to be nearly 10 p.m. Mickey, don't stay up too late. Don't try to keep up with Mish. I hope you have a good sleep, dude. Don't work too hard this week. Sounded like there was a train rolling through the place. Bougie butter. Oh yeah, we were eyeing up actually some bougie butter yesterday at a new little bakery that we tried before we went out and did our like grocery shopping errands. Oh, I was eyeing it up in the fridge. It was like $9 for a pound though. $9 for a pound of butter. But I guess when like one chicken costs 16, yeah, that's kind of fitting. Oh yeah, if the heat keeps you up, we'll be around for a bit longer, Mickey. We're here for you. I know how it gets, actually. Samo just installed an air conditioner for us yesterday, too. It came in because the one that was here was broken. Okay, second last piece. It's getting messy. Wait, houses in the UK don't have AC. Can you not order like a portable one? That's what I would assume would be an easy option. These sourdough breadcrumbs, do you see how it's like, didn't clump up really at all in that plate? I'm so intrigued by this, and they smell so good back here. Okay, we can just fit on this last chunk. You still have -Celsius nights there. Wow. I mean, probably still the same back in Edmonton where we were. I'm sure of it. Just this past week, it just really started to warm up, and there's no snow left on the mountain tops. anymore. And everything is like so green now. Okay, we did it. I'm glad I put on gloves for this because sometimes I can't handle when my hands get too messy. That's a good amount of schnitzel we prepped. That's a full pan. Okay, so all of that stuff gets tossed now. Clean it up. We really didn't waste much breadcrumb. Good job on us. Take off my gloves. Wipe off the board. I'm just gonna pack all this up in the parchment and then put in the garbage. Okay, that was the other hard part. And now the only real hard part left. Fry the schnitzel, make our Béarnaise sauce, and cook the potato. That's it. Ew. We got egg on the board. Full clean, coming on up. I didn't put too much breadcrumb everywhere, but you definitely know I was in here. I tried my best. And then one note on breadcrumbs, if you have an excess in your house, it might be smart to put them in the freezer in an airtight container. That'll help them stay fresher longer, but we don't have a very big freezer anymore, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I might just vacuum seal it into a jar. The sumac chicken, you were inspired? Yeah, we actually, our lunch feature this week was a fried chicken. I don't know what they put in the brine, but it looked really yummy, like garlic, chili flakes, maybe a bit of sumac in with the brine. And then we sous vide the chicken, so it's all cooked, really like fall off the bone, and then we just quickly fry it and crisp it up for service. And then it had like a nice little green salad with lemon dressing, a couscous, squash, cranberry, and feta little salad underneath the chicken, and then sumac citrus yogurt kind of dotted around on the plate. I think I posted one of those in Discord. So yummy. So good, and lots of people got that. I need a bit of water, guys. One sec. I gotta go get the bin out of the other fridge. She needs water. Is it safe out of the tap now?
No, that's bottled.
Okay. The water was like brown coming out of the taps the other day, so I said absolutely not, I'm drinking that. Yeah, we'll show you guys where we go get our water from. It costs $2 for 5 gallons, and that lasts us usually a whole week now?
Yeah, we're on that.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Nice. The butter looks amazing for the sauce. I'll just bring it off of the stovetop, put it over here. Next one, put away the breadcrummies. Get that out of the way. Okay, let's fill up our oil. I'll also turn on this other camera now. Does it want to connect? $2 for 5 gallons of purified water. That's what we pay Canadian. Okay, I don't know what's with the stove cam. Give me one sec, but I'll fix it up. Oh, it is here. Wait. Why did it freeze? Okay, one sec. Is it gonna come back? It is gonna come back. It came back to me. That's really nice of it. Okay, so really only have 2 things on the stovetop cooking. And then I'll take out this. We'll have a small bowl as well to make our Béarnaise sauce in still. So we just need some egg yolks in there. But other than that, let's get some oil into here. We're just gonna do a shallow fry. The glugging of it. Probably go something like that. It was like half of the frickin' thing. Get that heating up. And then I'll also, we can turn on these potatoes back here. I'll put them on medium heat. Because those are okay if they're done a little bit early. They'll hold their heat. And then I'll also do medium heat on this to heat up. And then the only other thing, if I can remember where I put it, got my little deep fry thermometer to just take the temp of that oil. Where? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. So this, you can use it for sugar too if you make caramel. We'll see how centered I can get this. And like, you don't really want it to touch the bottom of the pan, because then that's not the most accurate reading. Just really in the oil. And that will help us out. Because we don't want to go past, I would say, 350 Fahrenheit. And then, okay, one other thing. Probably have to get this window cranked open more now. Is the oven. So what do we want to hold the oven at for the schnitzels as they come out of the fryer?
Don't worry about holding the oven.
No? Just cook them and then we'll just eat the last 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll eat the first one.
Okay. Okay, so we're not going to turn on the oven to hold them. We'll just fry them all and then eat the fresh ones. Fiber is amazing. Torino was trying for a moment. Was he actually? It might also be because they're working on it. I'm so happy we can get it here, considering it wasn't even like possible at the other building. Okay, we got our tongs here for turning the schnitzel over. And maybe I'll just get one other sheet pan with the metal rack for the cooked pieces. And we're set, guys. I'll grab the dried tarragon for our sauce. And maybe we can give a little lunch set to one of our bosses today. I'll give him some schnitzel with some Béarnaise sauce. You're right. Don't understand how it was impossible in literally downtown. I don't know either, Mish. This country has its fair share of problems, but we don't have to get into that. Not today. Or any day, really. We try not to think about it. Looking good. I guess we can take our eggs out and we don't just don't crack them yet for the sauce. Just leave them in the bowl. That. We need tarragon. We need the white wine vinegar. And then probably just some salt and pepper. And a whisk. ready to roll. What up, Blondie? Good to see you, dude. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're hanging out. We got a very delicious pan of Schnitzel, breaded in sourdough breadcrumbs from my own bread. Pounded out, sliced up our pork shoulder all together on stream. We got our oil heating up. Potatoes ready to boil in the pot. Salads ready to go in the fridge. Béarnaise, mise en place. I really can't complain at all today, guys. We crushed that. This is rising up to the occasion. Nice. We're already at 150. So I'm aiming for around 350. So directly across where we are now, it's got to go boop all the way over. While I'm waiting for this to heat up, actually, I'm just going to go take a really quick bathroom break. I will be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Hello. Hello there. Mr. Meow Meow. When the thermometer's in the frying oil, you know this is going to be frying properly. It is. We got it going. It's important to know the temperature of your oil. Most people just crank the pot, call it a day. That is not the thing to do. We're aiming for around 350 Fahrenheit. We got Mr. Johnny Rotten, aka Nike, in here with us. How are you doing today, dude? We are heating it up in the kitchen now. Might have to get a fan or something going. What?
Yeah, full parking lot up there.
Holy! There's no parking spots left?
Just open here.
My window is open.
Then open the door.
You're gonna monitor it?
Over here.
Hey. There's not really... Okay, there's a little breeze in now. I'll just put your shoe in front, so it's not like wide open. That works good, actually. Hopefully it doesn't push all the hot air onto the smoke detector.
Well, we're about to find out.
Oh, man.
Carry on, I'll fix it.
Oh, gosh. Bob. Taco. This is what we're frying up, guys. Pork shoulder pieces that we sliced, pounded out, seasoned, breaded with sourdough breadcrumbs. We got a couple recipes linked as well to go along with it today if you would like to make this for yourself at a later time. Scooter Beach? She's here. I think she follows the channel too, even. Scooter Beach does. How are you doing, Scoots? It's getting there. Is it? Do you think it's ready? No. Don't rush it. You can try a small one if you want. Mish. Look, it's another late mod. They're like Samo's there. He's fine. Packing a cone? Nice. Yeah, cookies here too. Fried pork chops. Basically, work's been busy. That actually, the temperature of the oil looks pretty good. I know this thermometer has been around for 5 billion years, but I don't think that's quite at the temp. See how if we put more pieces in, it would cool it off too much. But that's a good tester for sure. That can be Samo's test piece. A nugget to keep him held over until it's all finished. That's when things were made to last. Yeah, the only thing is I have to give it a little taparoo.
You can totally tell that it's sourdough.
You can, right?
You flip it. Totally can tell that's sourdough. Wow.
It's got a sour smell to it.
Yep. That's incredible.
Thanks for the follow, Mr. Meow Meow. I think I've seen you here before, but if not, hi, welcome. You got blessed and now you live on a lake? And we live pretty close to all the lakes too. Nike. High five, dude. I'm so happy for you guys. Do we deliver to New York? Did you say this last week, Nikos? We said maybe one day it could be possible. Hurry, get the drone. Drone delivery. It'll be there in an hour. That'd be so nuts. But I literally live on the opposite side of North America from you, unfortunately. The breading came off. Or that's proper. It'll be perfect, I think. A family of cardinals and owls. If you got birds by you, you know you live in a good spot. That's like how I can tell. That's like us in the mornings and nights too. You start to get to know their little patterns. Careful. Careful, please. Sam's going in with the rest of it. We got this here if you would like to let it rest a second. That was the test schnitzel, Hudas. Yes. Mish. That's my favorite emote that I made lately. That's so true. Yeah, what if 1 week you ask if you can deliver down the road, Nikos? I'll say yes. Or the one thing I always say as well is if you come to us, of course. Open door policy. I will feed anyone that knocks on this door and asks, what are we cooking? That's like a goal of mine in life. I hope it happens. He's got the little bit of salt sprinkled on it. Show them it over here before you get into it. Testing. Look at how crispy it went. That looks nummy. I'm gonna just do a little zhuzh here. Sometimes that helps. When you first drop it in, nice. Potatoes are almost up back here. They're slowly making their way. I think I'm gonna turn that pot a bit higher though. And I feel like this thing might go off soon, so I'm just gonna crank the door open a little bit more. It's totally gonna go off. Wait for the smoke detector to go off. Excuse me. I need to get the fan. I can tell by the heat in here, it's going to go off.
Relax.
Please get a fan. I don't need loud noises today. Mish, you wouldn't feed anyone, so don't even knock on our door. Is that how most Danish people are? I'm just gonna turn this around. Because this, for some reason, this stovetop is also a bit lopsided. But it works really good. Same with the oven, so I'm not gonna complain too much. You're not perceived as very friendly. I think that's why we get along. Okay, on the side, I'm gonna crack these and get the yolks out. Prep for our sauce. Whoa! You got the whole shell in there. I think we also have to flip this. My internal timer was going off. Nice, 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 nice. How was that, Samo? Do you have all dressed ruffles? You guys get them in the States? I thought that wasn't a thing. You love feta on your za? Oh, nice. Okay, taters are up. Holy! We're finally up. We got things working, people. And now, so happy that we finally found this. The thermometer. That's an easy way to tell if your deep fried food's done. Almost. Haha. We got the tasty taters. You'll buy a case? Nice. Mr. Slothman! I'm so happy you made it into stream today. Other than our short stream on Monday, we haven't been around too much, just adjusting to things, but thank you so much for the 53 month in a row resub. Think we're good to take this out? Get ready on our next batch. Fried green tomatoes for chippy flavor? I've never seen that. It's not like soaking up the oil too much. Holy shnikey! Thank you. Thank you. Let's get the other pieces in. Thank you very, very much. Kind of center that if we can. We'll do this other small nugget, and we'll finish with 2 big pieces. Whoa. Whoa. Hi, who's poppin'? Nico's got a sub. They're new here. Thank you very much, Mr. Slothman. Says, always enjoy supporting your channel. I appreciate you destroying our sub goal today. Let's welcome in all the new people. Maybe some of them we also know. Shecht. We know them. Pandas Disco. MAA2469. We know them too. Mystery Mochi. Sign Die. Gun Smook. Rusty Oven Proof got one. G347. Nikos 1965 and Godira Herodog. Thank you very, very much for helping all of those people join the kitchen crew today. And if they're new, welcome. Shecht, I see you. Oh no. Scoots, according to you, I'm new, or according to your follow, you're new also. Welcome in, Scooter Beach. Nice to see you again. Go diarrhea, dog. Oh no, that's what it is. Sometimes it's better to read it faster because then you don't actually know what it says. So this pan's just been on a medium heat the whole time for the oil. Let's poke the potatoes, see how they're doing, and then maybe we can get into the Béarnaise sauce. You better hope Suzanne's not in here, Mish. Okay, a bit longer on the taters. Probably like 10 minutes or so. You love making schnitzel, but the wifey hates it. What does she hate about it? That seems wild. I've not met many people that don't like schnitzel. Okay, so we're going to whip up these yolks here. I'll just add everything over here on this side. Maybe. How warm is this? No, the stovetop's a bit too warm. I don't want the yolks to get cooked. So mix those up. Let's just switch this up for a sec, the view. I think she ate it a lot as a kid. Oh, yes. Yeah, one of those things, right, where maybe if you're force fed it too much, you don't want to see it anymore. But she prefers pierogi and borscht. I'd be okay with all three of those things. You learned how to, or how the Danish number scheme works again. What, checked? Used to drive an hour and a half each way to Wisconsin to get Schnitzel Bob. That is a commitment. This little guy, I think, can be flipped. Maybe even this one too, actually. It's cooking nice and even. Whoa. I knew it was gonna do that where the fatty bits are. Okay. Let's do cutting board and stove. Look at that magic. So we got 2 egg yolks. I'm just gonna sprinkle in our dried tarragon so we have the most amount of time for it to flavor everything. Dust up the tarragon in your hands. Make the tarragon dust. That should be enough. Titan's in here even. This is turning into a crazy kind of day. A little bit of white wine vinegar. You could do lemon juice. We got options. Help prepare the yolk for all the butter to accept. One more thing. Just a bit of hot sauce. I don't really want the truffle hot sauce, so I don't think I'm going to put any. We don't even have any other versions. I guess you could do a bit of chili, but I don't really want that. So we'll see how this tastes. And then near the end is where we do the seasoning of salt And if you want some pepper, you can add that too. So now mix this all up with the vinegar or lemon juice. Titan, thank you very much for the 53 months resub as well. Mr. Slothman also resubbed today for 53 months. I don't think lard is unhealthy to make schnitzel with. I think these ones are done though. I think that would taste amazing. It's definitely getting really nice and crisp. Sourdough breadcrumbs, people. Who would have known? Okay, and then last two pieces going in now so we can get the salad out. That's why I'm getting the sauce almost ready. And then the potatoes are almost ready too. And I fit this one here. Nice. I'm glad I have not had to top up the oil at all. And this big boy. There we go. Holy. The fact that it like foams up is crazy to me. That's how much pork fat has gone out of it. I don't know why it does that. The fact that we're doing okay with not the smoke detector going off is making me so happy. You've gained 25 pounds in the 53 months. Okay. I'm gonna turn those potatoes down. So now we want to heat this up a little bit, the egg yolk, as well to accept the butter. So I'm just gonna try to control, like, this stovetop here is hot where my hand is. You could also just like hold it over the steaming potato pot and get a little bit of residual heat that way, but you don't just want to put it directly on a burner. And then from there, I'm actually going to put this butter on the stovetop. It got a little bit cooled. We're going to make sure our butter is warm. And then start whisking it in a little bit at a time until the egg yolk emulsifies with it. One more poke on these taters back here. Nice. Okay, so we don't want them to fall apart. They're perfectly cooked through. Now I'm gonna strain them. And yeah, I'm feeling better. Yesterday was just one of those days where there was too much happening. I didn't want to stop what I was working on just to stream. And we really like got so much extra things wrapped up. I feel way, way better. Thanks for asking. Do we have black pudding and haggis in Canada? I think, yeah, we have both. I've seen at restaurants here. Okay, so just strain the water from the potato pot into the sink. Now we got yummy boiled potatoes. How's this stuff over here? Might have to give it a flick. Yeah. We loaded this pan up. Nice. We cut these nubs of butter earlier and then just left them on the counter to soften. Now we can mix that in to the potatoes and they'll soak that up as they are resting in the pot. Ooh, okay, they're pretty soft. We'll see what happens here. I'm okay if they get a bit mashed up, but I'll try to be as gentle as possible. The small ones are kind of falling apart, but I guess that just gives us more area to soak up all the sauce. Nice, okay. So now those can just hang out in the pot, ready to go. Put the lid on so it stays warm. Okay, how's this? Our butter's getting remelted. Haggis is banned and black pudding can go in the bin. Guys, it's okay to share opinions. Don't be mean about foods that people like though. Okay guys, I'm doing it. I'm going for the pour. Emulsification station. Samo, check the schnitzel. Nice, it's working guys. It's working. I'm putting all the butter bits in. That is all the butter we have, so good thing. Holy. It's like I've made this sauce a time or two. So see how we mix the butter in? And now it is one fluid sauce. I'm just gonna kind of keep whipping over here on the side because I want to get it a bit lighter. Get a bit more air in it. Haggis is on the breakfast buffet tables. That's wild. I think we made it at school just to see, but I don't like any of those things really in it. I've also seen like the white pudding, Boudin Blanc is usually what it's called. Look at this, how it really lightened up in color. So that's what I'm wanting. And then just a little bit of warmth. And then we can always thin it out a bit before we serve it if we need to with a bit of warm water. The last thing we'll have to do is taste and season it. Come over. We'll do this one. It's done-y. Nice. I can do pepper in here. Okay. A little bit of pepper. Samo temp the schnitzels. They're complete. Nice. And then a sprinkle of salt. Those can rest for a moment while I finish this. We'll take the hot pan of oil off of the burner just so that it doesn't stay hot there for forever. It can start to cool off. The little schnitzel has a butt crack. What? This one? There's the schnitzels. This, we need a spoon. Samo, please get the salad out of the fridge. We need 2 plates. Nice. We got fancy sour cream yesterday for the taters. We're gonna put that over here. This. Okay. First things first, I think actually we didn't do this. Plate. Schnitzel over here. Nice. That works. Got that out of here. That out. I think we're good. Tongs. Okay, potatoes onto the plate first. Nike's back. Just in time, it's true, dude. How did you know? Tasty, tasty taters. When you say buttered potato, it better include butter. These are halfway to frickin' Béarnaise sauce on their own. I'm trying not to be messy, it's just happening though. Get back over there. Just make a little pile of salad on the side, I think. The little pile turned into like a huge pile when I let go of it.
I'll take mine in a bowl.
Sam says no. Where's the dressing at? That one is yours? Either one? Thank you. He needs his veggies, just not on the plate. So he just made this little container. Okay, so this separated a bit. You can see as it sat. Shake it back together. It's okay, guys. He still has it. Look. That's what he chose instead.
And
just
I put more
no
in
plate.
it. See? It's easier.
Just no plate. It's okay. Spoon. Simple, simple salad on the side. Buttered potatoes to fill you up. And then lastly, okay, we'll get that out of there for a moment. Just for this next step. Can we get all of this in here? It's a little bit crazy. No. I'll turn it this way for the saucing. Just mix this back up. It tries to always make a film on top when you let it sit. Nice. I can put this on your schnitzel?
Yeah.
Gonna nappe it. Because it's meant to be eaten with the potatoes as well. That's one of the better ones I've made. I like putting it on this one on the angle because then it's gonna like slowly run down. And then the heat as well will help it flow. Okay, let me just take a quick photo. He's mixing shit up today. That's crazy. You never know what could happen. You don't think you've had that kind of dressing, Scoots? I linked a recipe for it. Whoa, look at this. Ah! It's flowing down. So see if you want to try it out for yourself. I gotta make sure I take these photos so I can upload YouTube, otherwise they just don't do as that good. We gotta work on the lighting a little bit still in here, but other than that, I don't really care because I'm ready to eat. Okay, Samo, all you. I think we're safe now, this. Okay. I didn't sprinkle any extra salt on there when it came out of the oil. How are you feeling? Whoa. He's going for more Béarnaise, guys. I guess that's a compliment. He's slathering it in it. It was a Béarnaise slug. Do not. Mish. Get it back on there. Whoa. Layers of flavors. That pork is melting in my mouth. That is a tasty pork. And yeah, so this sauce, like any hollandaise type sauce, tightens up quick. But then you also can't hold it too hot because then it will split. It's definitely one of the more challenging sauces. And just with us, like, we had the air kind of circulating in here while we were frying, so the smoke detector didn't go off. So the air is quite cool. So that's why, yeah, it tightened up. But you can see as soon as it hits something warm, it'll loosen back up. So that's why you don't want it too loose, because then it will go very, like, watery everywhere. Oh my gosh. It's almost midnight. And you're about to go make schnitzel. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Rusty Oven Proof. I'm glad you found us today and stuck around. So this is what we do. Our schedule is a little bit different because we started working in restaurants again after taking a break after 5 years. So we relocated to a new place and are learning a lot of new things about this restaurant and how they do things. But yeah, we've been streaming cooking on Twitch for, well, I always just say since 2018, January. It's too much time for me to add up anymore. 7 years. Sam doesn't breathe when I make him German food. And hi, caretaker. I guess that also means I did good. It's actually really the best schnitzel I've made yet. Okay? It's the best schnitzel I've made. The restaurant we work at now is fine dining contemporary. And then see how we even cooked his pork a little bit pink on the inside still? Mmm. The flavor of the potatoes with the butter on it? Whoa. These breadcrumbs though, like it's still crispy. A lot of times when you take stuff out of the fryer that you bread, it'll like slowly get softened. It's still crispy though. Sourdough magic. This is what we needed today. That's a fatty chunk. That is very rich, very much comfort food, like crazy. Is that the perfect way to end that meal? With a nice fresh salad? See, I haven't had a bite yet and I'm like dying already. Okay. We are wrapping things up. Don't worry though, we're still munching a bit. I was just going to look in the freezer and kind of maybe have a chat about what we are going to cook next week with everyone. The rillette? Oh my god. I actually had part in making that. I learned like the first part of how to make it. I got the chicken thighs in the smoker. That's one of the best chicken things I've ever tasted. We got pork ribs for next week. We can also, yeah, we'll do, okay. So we're going to do pork ribs next week on stream and some steak night, the one that we didn't do yesterday. So strip steaks on the big green egg. That is also one more thing actually, shoot, that I wanted to try. Is how far is this wireless camera going to go? Because it kind of has to go through the whole house to the balcony. So I wanted to try that on today's stream before we end.
Won't matter because my router's going to be in place.
Oh, so we just link up to that? Yeah. And it will be okay? Okay. So yeah, cooking on the grill next week for stream. Should be a good one. I'm happy you're here too, Nike. Yeah, they cured, so we cured the chicken legs. And then I laid them all out on the smoker racks. Put it in the smoker for an hour, like a cold smoke. And then we confit the chicken legs for 3 hours. Pull all that meat off, and then they pressed it with like a bunch of herbs and stuff. On our Friday, so like on Monday this week, as we were wrapping up, I was like, is this still on the menu? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I was going to eat it if it wasn't, because it's so freaking good. I was going to make it for staff meal. He's like, you can still have some. I was like, no, it's okay. I'm going to use up the extra steak instead. What's with all the creepy geese on top of the cabinets? Mish, we live at a place called Wild Goose Winery. That's another one. Okay, I'm going to make a quick command for us called Goose. Just give me a sec. And then that will answer that question. Add a new command. The name, Goose. Response type, wildgoosewinery.ca. That's the one. I'm kind of offended. They have a reason to be here. And like the other cute thing is they're all couples. So they're all like a set of 2. But that's why that's like that. I am 19 plus. That's it, guys. Okay, so we will be back next Monday. Around like, honestly, I don't know anymore. Maybe 6 p.m. Pacific. I think we're gonna be going more full-time next week, working right till 5. Not like how this week we got off early. Hello, mozzarella stick. I like mozzarella sticks. But yeah, we'll see you guys then. I'll keep you updated on the schedule for next week. But Wednesdays, it's always going to be at 12 p.m. Pacific. Hopefully. We'll see what days off I end up getting. What did they do? They come in with mozzarella sticks and then they got banned. Boom. Okay, let's go raid somebody real quick. Hello and goodbye. We raided Recipe Reborn last time, so let's go see Chef Steve at More Than Pasta Food Truck. Red pepper cream sauce prep day, and it looks really, really good in the pot. The matzo stick got eaten. That's what they get. Chef Steve, 3:30. Our other chefy Twitch friend, who's in a different country though, also has a food truck. One of my life goals. We'll see if we get there. The cheese stick got banned. You gotta be careful around these parts, boss man. Okay, guys. I hope we inspired you today to make some delicious food for yourself. Maybe share it with someone else. Sharing's caring. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, night, wherever you are in the world. Join our Discord for all of the recipes and the schedule for the upcoming week. Fun place to hang out when we're not around. Hope you all had fun. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I can't wait to actually go crush all this right now. Love you guys. Thank you for spending time with us. I know our schedule's insane. Just thanks for hanging in there and always taking care of us. He finished it. Clean Plate Club for this one over here. That means something. Thanks, Cooking Girl. Okay, bye guys. Love y'all. See you next week. Bye.